This video is about the 2 power tools that you have to have if you're getting into restoration. I think that the most important tool to have is a drill, because obviously you're going to need to drill holes in sheet metal and stuff, but also you can put a bunch of other attachments on it. You could put a driver bit on here so that you can very quickly put in screws and stuff. You can put a socket on here so that you can take off nuts and bolts way faster than just doing it with a normal wrench. You can put a wire wheel on here so that you can knock off old paint and rust, which you're going to have to do if you're restoring a car. You can also mix paint in a paint bucket with this if you have the right attachment. The second most important tool to have is a cordless angle grinder. You can get one with a cord too, but I like the cordless. It's way easier to use. My favorite attachment for it is this flap disc, which is really good for grinding welds or grinding any kind of metal. You can also use it to take off old layers of paint. That's what I was doing right here to help get the paint down before I actually sandblast it. You can also put a grinding disc on here, which is really good for aggressively taking off metal, although it doesn't leave quite as smooth of a finish as a flap disc. Also, these flap discs, you can get them in all different grits. So if you need to take off metal or paint more aggressively, you get like an 80 grit. If you need a little less aggression, you can get like 130. This is my favorite tool that I discovered last summer when I was welding on a whole bunch of new parts. Another thing that you can do with an angle grinder is you can put a wire wheel on it. They make a lot of different kinds of wire wheels. Some of them are more aggressive than others. And those are really good for knocking off rust and paint, but especially rust. Okay. Another attachment that you can put onto this angle grinder is you can do an actual grinding disc, which is really good for aggressively removing metal from things. This is also really good for grinding welds, and it's good if you need to shorten a piece of metal by a little bit. Another important attachment for this is this cutting disc. If you need to make a cut straight through a piece of metal, this is the best thing to use. It's a lot faster than grinding the whole piece of metal down if you can just chop it off in a certain point. It's also really good for making like long cuts. Say I needed to cut this door in half. You can just run this and it'll make a super nice straight cut. This is what we like to call the terrifying weapon of mass destruction. It's a super aggressive wire wheel, and you can put this on your angle grinder and it will take paint off like crazy. It also sometimes can get kind of out of control. It ate one of my shirts one time. And I'm a little bit scared of these, but they're really good for aggressively taking off paint and rust. Okay. One final thing that's really important is making sure you're wearing safety glasses when you're using these. You really don't want to be throwing off sparks, paint, wires from the wire wheel. Any of that stuff going in your eyes is super bad. And you don't want to go blind just because you thought you were too cool to wear safety glasses. So in conclusion, you should get yourself an angle grinder and a drill. These are the 2 most important power tools that you're going to need when you're working on a restoration project. Thanks for tuning into this video, and I hope to see you guys in the next one.